Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me today Mr. Nitin Garg, Head of Marketing from Credgenics. Nitin, very good evening and welcome to the interview section.
Good evening, Soumya.
Nitin, coming to you, first thing, I'm very delighted that Credgenics has supported and been part of this event, and we look forward to that support in future as well. My first question to you would be, Nitin, how was your overall experience in this two-day summit and the award ceremony?
I think the event was very well organized. The choice of speakers as well as the choice of topics for the sessions, I think, were very relevant. And it was very evident that not only the speakers but also the audience were thoroughly enjoying the discussions. And I think that's a true testament of the kind of content that was created for the session. Very, very pertinent topics. In the context of today's scenarios around regulatory aspects or business challenges or customer experience or the changing dynamics of the economy, all of them I think created a lot of curiosity and interest among the audience, which made it a very interactive event, and that's what we all look forward to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those kind words, Nitin. Now, Nitin, Credgenics had a fantastic fireside chat, and I think this was very unique because we never had any fireside chat kind of a thing in this event before. This was the first of its kind, and I'm sure the reviews were very great, and the audience were extremely engaged as well. So, what are your takeaways from the fireside chat, and how was the reception from the audience after the fireside chat?
I think fireside chat is something that we've been doing at events of late, and why we follow this particular mode is that the typical presentation mode is a very, very one-sided monologue, and usually it bores the audience to the last mile. So we usually want to keep it interactive, and that's why we bring in the format of fireside chat, where our CEO, Mr. Rishabh Goel, was there, along with our industry speaker, Mr. Rajaram from Adani Capital. So the idea was that we choose a topic, a theme, and then 4 or 5 topics within that discussion, we bring in both the business side as well as the technology side of the perspective. I think the kind of questions that we got after the session and the kind of feedback that we got after the session from the people who walked out of the session was quite encouraging. People really enjoyed the discussion, and there were some takeaways that we were able to leave for the audience to follow through. And I think that was the whole idea behind having this conversation, so full marks to that.
I'm sure, and I think a lot of people really liked the idea because what you rightly said is we do these conferences and the summits, and whenever there is a presentation, people take it as a sales pitch, and it's a breath of a fresh air. Absolutely, to be very honest, that's something unique where it's not a sales pitch, it's not a presentation or a case study, but something an engaging level. So full marks for that. I think amazing reception we got for the fireside chat. Now moving on to my next question, how was your overall experience in terms of the networking, because you were there for both the days of the event, so and the audience were also there, in terms of the other speakers, because you said the speakers were really great. So what was the networking experience you had?
I think, again, the pacing of the event, the timing of the sessions, and the gaps that were introduced in the session. So the way it was, the flow of the event was very well planned. And people were not really, bored by looking at, session after the session or a lot of presentations. So I think that was good part about the session, and it was reflected, in the audience feedback as well. So whenever they were coming to meet the people at the booth, it was evident they were still fresh and from the conversations, and they were picking up cues from the conversations or the panel discussions where industry leaders were sharing their thoughts and taking those conversations forward in their engagement with the vendors. So I think that was the whole idea that I think that differentiates this event from the rest of the events that I have been to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for those kind words, Nitin. Now, coming to my final question to you, some insights about Credgenics and the vision for 2025 for you guys.
So Credgenics is a young startup, and we are into the credit collection space. We are on a mission to disrupt the entire collections segment, which has traditionally been very manual and very manual effort oriented. So what we are trying to bring to the industry is a very radical approach, where we take a very automated, scientific and data-driven approach to the whole collections mechanism. We're getting a very good response from the community. We're already working with 75 plus leading banks and NBFCs in India. We are now going outside India, expanding to Southeast Asia as well. A lot of innovation keeps happening in the product. based on the feedback that we get from our customers or from the prospects or from various other stakeholders in the community. Innovation is something that we definitely vouch for, stand for, and that's why we look forward to disrupting the industry further with our solutions and our category defining solutions.
Absolutely, Nitin, and all the best. And I'm sure that Credgenics, the way it is growing from strength to strength, it is going to be one of the top players in the market. And I think why not 2025? It could be even better and much earlier as well. So all the best for that. And thank you so much, Nitin, to you and the entire team of Credgenics for being part of the India NBFC Summit and Awards. And we look forward to having you guys again. Thank you so much for your valuable time.
Thanks to the entire Cinex team for organizing and being a part of this. It was a really great experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much.